Rockwell Radio.
Brothers and sisters,
Radio. Rockwell Radio.
brothers and sisters,
Radio. Radio. Suck. Rockwell Radio.
brothers and sisters,
Radio.
Yo, this is Problem 13 of Wolverine.
Radio.
I'm listening to DJ Rockwell. Holla!
You are listening to DJ Rockwell, the nation's #1 DJ, and I want to welcome you to Rockwell Radio. We're going to take just a quick second to set up. Matter of fact, before I do that, let me just make sure that everybody, if you're viewing, if you're watching, hit that like button, hit that share button, because what we're talking about right now, only people are thinking about. People are too afraid to even say the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's name. But the hip hop community stands in solidarity behind him 100%. Now, Brother Rockwell, is this a show? Is every time you get on, you're going to be talking about Islam and the nation and bean pies and a final call? Nah, sometimes we're going to shoot the stuff. We're going to laugh and joke. We're going to do a little ha-ha and he. We're going to talk hip hop, but we're going to talk about popular culture and we're going to talk about politics. But for the debut show, it's only right that I bring front and center the reason why we're here. The man who woke us, the man who raised us, the man who taught us, and why hip hop is the appropriate vehicle to take that message all around the world. For segment two, we're going to talk to some hip hop artists that ain't playing with this subject. But before I do that, before I bring them on, we're going to play a video so you can see exactly who will be joining us and who we'll be talking to. This is DJ Rockwell. Stand by and watch this.
They got me so pissed. We talking about like, first they want to ban Farrakhan on Facebook, then they want us to apologize for shit we said. Man, fuck
them hoes. They say nigga, you need to apologize. I look them in and they fucking lie. I'm not your playboy. Who do you think I am? Don't give a fuck. You can ban my Instagram. We just some real ones. We talk for the slum. You can come and kill us. Hope bring all your guns.
Welcome to Chicago. So pretty. Welcome to my city. Welcome to Chicago. So pretty that she blows. There she goes. Welcome to my neck of the woods. Step up if you could. Fix your hat. Yeah, pep up if you could. Like the center for the Bulls.
Welcome back to the second segment of Rockwell Radio. My name is DJ Rockwell. I'm your host, the nation's #1 DJ, and you are tuned into the Rockwell Radio Show. And again, I want to thank the panel for segment one for taking time and being guests on our debut show. We got a lot to talk about. But before I get any further, I want to send a big congratulations to our sister Heck of a Mecca out of Akron, Ohio, who just bore a child today. She was scheduled to be a guest on today's show, but God had a different plan. So we at the Rockwell Radio Show say Allahu Akbar, and we are so happy, and we all congratulate you. So we want everybody that's watching, send love, send hearts, send likes through this. Shout out to Heck of a Mecca through this or however you may be watching. So she could not join us today. But who we do have with us is still going to be enough to rock the house and make the point. And again, I want to apologize in advance that in my haste, I didn't get a chance to print out the bios of each artist to tell you about them. So what we'll simply do is just have them tell you about them themselves. So please welcome my first guest for segment 2. Everybody in the nation knows this brother. And if you're not in the nation, you're about to know this brother. He has been an active member of the NOI hip hop community. You may say, what's that? You'll learn more about that in a moment. Welcome our brother, who's a hard worker for the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and his people, my brother and yours, brother Hashim Hakim. Black man.
What's happening? How y'all doing?
Brother, welcome to the show, brother. I apologize for the long-running first segment, but we're going to get right into it ASAP. But we got some more people to bring on the show with us, brother. Is that all right?
Come on, man. Brotherhood, sisterhood.
I
Hey,
want
Rebecca, man, congratulations. No wonder she ain't answering my calls, man.
Brother, yeah, she did that thing, brother.
Praise God.
So we give all praise due to Allah, to her and her husband on a healthy new baby. I yet to even know the gender, but long as the baby is healthy, we thank God. It's a boy. Come on now. That's right. That's right. Come on now. So we welcome all the way from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But I gotta say first, this brother was a St. Louis homeboy all day. He has been known in the St. Louis area first for co-founding Dynasty Hip-Hop Inc, who specialized in mentoring youth. He is a columnist, a writer. He has written for The Final Call and many publications based out of Texas. Please welcome and brother is also a member of the video you just saw of I want to say it right. Matter of fact, I'll let him explain it. The song you just heard was F Them Hoes, and is the sum of y'all fears is the name of the hip hop collective. Pardon me. Please welcome to the show my brother and yours, brother Jihad Hassan Muhammad. I'm getting a little drop on it, brother.
Yes, I'm like my brother DJ Rockwell to the great. Good to see you. Good to see y'all. And I'm thankful to be on the screen with y'all. Thankful to Allah to be, in y'all acquaintance today. And that first segment was just killing them, bro. To brother A-Tone, Miles, James Bond of the legendary Public Enemy, our brother Enoch of Hip-Hop Detox. And, y'all just did a great segment, man. I was learning so much and just in accord with everything y'all was saying. So thank y'all. And I appreciate the opportunity, sir.
And I tell you what, I was searching for some feminine energy to bring to the set. When my sister told me, Brother Vaughn, I just had a baby, I ain't gonna be there. I said, I think baby trumps podcast any day of the week.
Right.
But there was a brother who stood up, who answered the call. He's my brother and Think It Thin. He is also out of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. He is the minister of Muhammad Mosque number 48. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And he is a hard-working soldier out of Texas, holding the banner of Islam and hip-hop for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Please welcome my brother, Sha Heed. Let's go, Sha Heed.
Family. Yeah, praise be to Allah, man. It's
hometown point now.
To be on with such giants.
Brother, freezing up a little bit.
Morning
there you go.
Can you hear me? Am I good?
Okay, yeah. Your screen froze for a minute, but you're back. I spoke too soon. It's free.
Okay. Oh, okay. No, I was saying, man, I enjoyed the first segment also, like brother. I wish I can cheek. I ain't cheeked the brother in so long, bro.
Right.
It becomes foreign if you don't see the brotherhood, man. Something like.
Welcome. You are watching the Rockwell Radio Show, the debut podcast where we're going to deal with Islam and hip hop, and we pose the question in this show, helping Farrakhan. What is the role of hip hop in this mission? We're going to jump right in because I didn't want to keep the people very, very long. But again, I want to say to everybody, we are on a subscription drive on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is streaming this right now. There's a link on all of my Facebook pages. Subscribe, follow, share, like. Subscribe, follow, share, like. Because we're going to do this again. And we want to make sure that you are aware when this show hits the air. Here's question one, brothers, and this is to everybody. Some of these questions are directly to individuals and some are going to be answered in a round table like fashion. But this one is going to be answered by everyone. Here's the question. We live in a time that the more low down and filthy you are, the more successful you are. We no longer live in a time where the message of artists like KRS-One, Public Enemy, X-Clan, or the Poor Righteous Teachers is accepted in the mainstream. So, from what I know of your music, you have decided to forego chasing mainstream acceptance, which really equates to a sacrifice, a financial sacrifice, if I'm right. What encourages you and inspires you to stay on message as opposed to giving the people the same old content that they're used to? Let's start with Brother Hashim.
Man, that's a beautiful question. I can't say I haven't wavered in my career trying to get that dollar, but I will say
keep it a buck. Keep it a buck.
I remember a time when Cash Money called me out to New Orleans, and they flew me out, and I was in a hotel room from about, I'd probably say about from about 9 in the morning till about 11 that night, trying to come up with something that would appease them. And it was some of my best lyrics that I ever wrote, but it wasn't street or gutter enough. And so it came to about that 9 o'clock p.m. and they came in there and said, man, do we need to do what we do with Lil Wayne with you? Do we need to bring these dope boys in here, man, and they start cooking up the drugs and you document it? Do we need to do that?
Wow.
And I said to myself, I know what y'all want, man. So I wrote some of the most gutter stuff I ever wrote, because I'm from the street too. And they came back and they said, that's what we're looking for. That's it. I went to the studio and recorded it. My conscience was pricking me the whole time. And it got finished. And at that time, it was a group called Gotti and Boo that was just got signed to Cash Money. They out of Chicago too.
Yes, sir.
And them brothers know me for soldiering the Final Call newspaper. That's all the streets know before Chicago.
Come on,
when
man.
they heard that song, they said, brother Hashim, this ain't you. I said, that's what y'all asked me to do, though. That's the only thing y'all want.
How about it?
Back to Chicago, and at the time, the Assistant Supreme Captain, Brother Aziz, he was the first officer. He said, that's what you want to do. I mean, but is that what you joined the nation for? And so I don't know how I got out of it, but I just told him I came back home and never responded to them again. And that was the end of it. So that right there, I just have to remember that especially those of us, not just in the nation, but those of us. I know me, let me talk about me specifically. I know I signed up to usher in a new world. I know I signed up to bring in a new world because I'm dissatisfied with the world that we live in.
Yes, sir.
And so if we're going to do that, it's strategies, man. You know, we got military tactics to do that, and we'll talk about that as the show go on. I know I have to keep cognizant and aware of what I'm here for. It's not the dollar. It's not the dollar. And it's and if I do what I'm supposed to be doing, and that's ushering in a new world, my reward has been accomplished because that's in to bring in a new world. Not to be complacent in a world that's falling. This world is falling and it's apparent. I got to be cognizant, dude, what you here for? You got to be true to yourself. It's not the dollar. And if you want to bring in a new world, and if that's what your goal is for, that's what your goal is, you got to remember you're going to have a lot of distractions along the way. But like GM told me, the Assistant Supreme Captain, he said, if you're the point guard and you trying to score, you got 5 opponents trying to stop you from scoring. So you're going to have distractions. But are you going to just give in on the defense, or are you going to maneuver and dunk? And I came to dunk. So thank you.
Come on. Bam! That's what I'm talking about, black man. Let's go down to Texas, back to the DFW area. Ooh, it's raining outside. Brother Sha Heed, I know you got a slow connection, but so we're going to try to bear as patiently as we can with your statement. So if you will, please take a shot at the question.
I mean, I remember when I first signed my first deal in '98 out of Oklahoma. Man, you all speaking that gutter language. Always been business minded, so I always wanted to go that route of doing our own.
Yeah, this is gonna be a rough one. This is gonna be a rough segment.
And so when I heard the teachings of the, it just changed me totally, and that's what really fuels me not to go back. To say I don't really like to say that I'm a hip hop artist or nothing like that, or I do hip hop. I do resurrection music because that's what woke.
I got an idea.
Make something new.
Because we're missing half of what you're saying, unfortunately. But you know how we do. We like the Marines. We don't plan, we improvise. What I want you to do is call me, Brother Sha Heed, and I'm gonna put you on loudspeaker, and I'm gonna just let you be by phone.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So he can just mute the computer, right? That's
right.
Good.
And
he handsome enough to do it. He handsome enough.
Oh yeah, man. So while brother does that, we're gonna stay in Texas and hear from our brother Jihad.
Yes, sir. Thank you, bro. I want to be clear. Starting in St. Louis with Dynasty Hip-Hop Mentoring Program, getting youth off the street with hip-hop, as I received such blessing of getting off the street through hip-hop. It was through hip-hop that I learned of the name Farrakhan.
That's right.
Through hip-hop that I learned the name and then wanted to know, who is this man?
Come on.
It was through hip-hops, and the reality was when I was maybe 11 or so and heard the name, I wanted to know who he was because the people speaking his name was speaking it so hardcore. So I make no qualms. If it was not for the mainstream at that time that had not been manipulated by open enemy, I would have not heard his name through the culture of hip hop.
Yes, sir.
So I aim only with Allah's blessing, who came in the person of Master Farrakhan Muhammad, to speak a language to the mainstream.
Right.
We aim through the sum of y'all fears, which is a collective that's generational, that represents each generation. I don't want to say each generation, but generations of hip hop. The God generation, so to speak, the Jay-Z, Nas era, the Lil Wayne up to Kendrick era and the Now era. That's
right.
the three members of the Sum of Your Fears. One of them is my son. He's 17. And so the reality is we aim to give a message to the mainstream, because the mainstream is where our people are found. Now, the question now becomes, how do we do such? Well, quite recently, we saw I don't want to say the re-entrance, but it's been a while since we've seen it on the mainstream blatantly with the WAP video, and with WAP itself, the word hoe was reintroduced, if you will.
Yes, sir.
It was our sisters that, were referring to the hoes that were in the house, if you will. Slightly before that, we did the song, and our first single was called F Them Hoes. I ain't sorry. We are not slaves. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get into that, matter of fact. We're going to talk about that.
We wanted to reposition the language of a hoe to them hoes, particularly. These
Not
hoes
us,
that have oppressed us,
them.
the open enemy that has oppressed, enslaved, and killed us. Those hoes. We wanted to reposition that language.
Come on.
So make no mistake about it. We aim at the mainstream. We aim with the same amount of veracity, lyrics, hooks, bars, beats, and we got singles, that will attack that mindset in our people that are what? Housed in the mainstream. The little girl on the corner with the big pickle, if you will. So I have to give a shout out to my brother James W. Muhammad. We talked about that long time ago when we were doing our music, and it was like, if we can't reach the little girl on the corner with the pickle, if you will, with the peppermint in it, the little dude walking down the street with a soda with the red hot Cheetos, if we're not reaching them, then we have not become, this is just my opinion, and forgive my passion, we have not become that which awakened us. P.E. was awakening us through hardcore lyrics.
Right.
NWA, whatever you think about them, F the Police is an anthem. And it is an anthem that exists to this day. So we made no qualms about what we have. We
lost, brother.
Where our people are at. Somebody called me. I don't it should have came through. We aim at the mainstream where our people are at, and where our youth in particularly are housed in these streets. One of our hashtags, like we said, we speak for the slums. That's everybody has their thing, and that's what we plan to do with Allah's permission.
Okay, we're going to come back to our brother Sha Heed. We're going to try this again with the phone, brother Sha Heed. So what I'm going to do is put my device next to my mic and let you go for it. So if you could briefly try to summarize again what you said.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Everybody can hear me?
Wa alaikum salam.
The question was, what fuels us from not? You know what I'm saying? With the
hip-hop is only going.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second.
Now he got to mute his screen.
Right? Let me do that. Let me do that.
No, he do.
We good now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
You good now? Okay, praise be to Allah. What fuels me is what fueled me to change my music in the first place. And it's the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's what keeps me from going back to the gutter. Because once you raise up, and then you can actually see where you come from, then you got to strategize and go back and get the rest. I agree with everyone was saying, how they're trying to change hip-hop. And even in the last segment, you hit on it like if hip-hop did. It's been the instant enemy took it over. We didn't house it on our own talent in the beginning, not enough of it. Where we can package our own product and market our own product and carve out the destiny of our product.
Yes, sir.
I still believe, and I know for sure, there's a market out there for us. Just like what Carly B said, she said there are a lot of conscious hip-hop rappers out there, but y'all won't promote them. Who is the y'all keep talking about? So it's like right now it's just on our shoulders. If they don't want to take it, then the nation come take it. Because we got enough artists to ride the wave. So that's the beautiful beautiful thing about our unity in this arts and culture thing. Because it's like Miles A. Thomas said, the arts and culture are the wheels and cars of the revolution. So we got to do more together. We got to be seen in each other's videos. We got to fly to each other's cities. You know what I'm saying? We got to show our love and our unity so we'll build up that type of that energy, the same energy that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has, because the word of God never is dead in each generation. So when we speak in the language right, like it says in our supreme wisdom, when we speak in the verbs in the past tense and then they present tense and then future tense, right? You know, we gonna get them because they looking for it. I can tell you right now, I never thought that. You know, right now I got over 10,000 monthly listeners on my Spotify and growing. You know what I'm saying? And it's still growing. It's still going up with videos and stuff like that. So it's out there. It's just more of us got to do it and be more consistent and help each other out. It ain't always about trying to squeeze your brother and get yourself up.
Yes, sir.
We got to unify. We got to get in our lanes. You know what I'm saying? And then we can get this thing going. And this is beautiful for me because I know when I came into the nation, I came straight off a tour.
Wow.
You know, I was doing a tour with a former Harlem Globetrotters. We were doing a Midwest tour to my brother named Peter Adams. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Peter Adams at KC. You know, we was doing a lot of stuff. He got us in a halftime show for the NBA show. We doing arena league football stuff. And so when I picked up that book, I just happened to pick up that book in Dallas next to the Black Man. And I've been hooked ever since, man. And so I just started switching my lyrics and just looking at everything constant that we can put into it. But we can say the same thing, but it's just how we say it. You know, you can still have that rough English to it, but and you can change your words, but it's just how you say it. Because if you say it in a rough way, then you still got to attract that type of brother. Or that type of sister that you try to bring to the phone. So, I mean, I see this as the beginning of a beautiful thing, especially in this digital real estate that we about to conquer. You know, so let's just keep pushing together, Soldier.
Come on, Black Man. Brother, thank you. First, can everyone hear our brother?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
People in the and I got to snitch real fast. I know snitching ain't cool. I got to snitch on somebody in the comment section. Brittany Muhammad said Jihad Muhammad, he an old buster, but he was teaching us.
That's my daughter. That's my daughter.
And he said this big old head teaching though.
I said it when it popped up. I'm like, boy, happy belated birthday. Yesterday was her birthday too.
Hey, Brittany, happy birthday, sis. Happy belated. We're going to keep the show moving and get to some pointed questions. Brother Hashim, we're coming directly to you. First of all, let me get some clarity and for myself and for those of our viewers who may want to properly pronounce your name. Do you prefer Hashim or Hashim?
Hey man, you and Brother Sha Heed hit me from the Arabic standpoint, but my name is Brother Hashim, man.
Okay. Because when he said it, I was like, damn, I've been saying it wrong all these years. Okay. Brother Hashim, this question is for you. There are few people in the Nation of Islam that do hip hop, whether we heard of them or not, that can call themselves a veteran. And you're certainly one of them. You've released 6 albums with a group, 13 solo albums, and a new one on the way. You even have sons that do hip hop, bro. If I'm correct, you're the only brother in the whole nation that can say you've been in a rhyme cipher with Jay-Z.
Come on now.
They embraced you.
It happened.
So, but even with all of that, MCs that have your kind of message, you know what they say about people like you, people like DJs like me, you get charged with being too preachy. And they say, yo, it's even something, y'all, it's kind of corny. So here's the question, Brother Hashim. Because of that, do you reject or embrace being labeled a conscious rapper? And how do you make what you do appealing to young people?
That's a loaded question right there, man. That's a loaded question. I want to say it's a good question. But I'll say this. The scriptures teach us to be wise as a serpent but harmless as a dove. But it also teaches us to go without observation. Now, y'all, when I'm with the Final Call newspaper, if I don't have my bow tie on, sometimes they don't know if I'm a Jehovah's Witness. They don't know if I'm a Christian. They don't know because of the language that I know how to speak. So I don't think I've been labeled conscious, but I am. I don't think I've been called too preachy because of the language. Now, this language, like for example, my record label is called Eracism Record. It's the word racism with a letter E in front of it. Eracism. And we take hip hop, kind of like Dynasty hip hop, and we able to maneuver and get into the minds of the youth. But I'm not the face of Eracism Records. We use diversity. So if I want to put a message out, it may not be me. I got a white boy on my label now. Have anybody seen the movie The Banker? The Banker?
Yes, sir.
I'm familiar, but I haven't seen it. But I'm familiar with it.
Sir.
Man, y'all got to go see The Banker. You got to see it. Right. If you got an iPhone, you got it free. You got to see The Banker because of his relentless mindset to get what he wanted to get. So he went different channels and went different ways. So I have to, as an artist, see to myself that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who was older than all of us, still is the most prominent voice in the world. Most powerful voice in the world. At his age, if we watched the July 4th address, did you see the numbers that he got on what's Puffy
Revolt?
What's Puffy Revolt. You see the numbers that the minister that we got on that, on the Revolt, and they had to take that down.
How about it?
It leads me to say, and that takes me to the Nick Cannon and Rabbi Cooper interview, where Rabbi Cooper told Nick Cannon, if you would have had this conversation in the barbershop or something, it would have been okay. But you had it on the airwaves, which means it got to the millions and the masses of the people. So in order for us to get a message out, we got to be wise too. We can't always want to be seen, but we gotta get into the youth. So now Eracism Records mean I might want to put a message out, but I might need a white person to do it. I want to put a message out, but I might need a white girl to go get Becky. Instead of a black sister rapping to go get Becky and Bob, I'll write the song and let a white girl do the song and let her go get Becky, because there's millions of followers that we have in the Nation of Islam for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan that are not black per se. They white. That's right. That's right. What I mean? And they love the minister. So I'm saying this to your question. I don't care about what you label me. Remember how we started? I got a goal, and that's to usher in a new world. So if I hear something on the radio that is counterproductive to us ushering in a new world, we got to put out a song that that counters what the enemy is throwing at us. This is warfare. It's a battle of the minds now. So we battling for the minds of our people. So if you got my son, like you got people like Ben X, 26-year-old making 6 figures a month. You got a heck of a Mecca. These young people, Golden Child, 20-something years old. If we could take the message and speak the language of the people we trying to reach, it don't matter what you label us. How about it? Usher in a new world. You can label us conscious. You can label us positive. You can label us Christian rap. We don't care about none of that. See them 6 figures that he making every month?
That part.
That brother Sha Heed just mentioned, I just got up in the digital real estate. So we trying to usher in a new world. It don't matter what the enemy is throwing at us. The question is, what are we throwing at the enemy?
Rockwell, radio. Radio.
listening to DJ Rockwell. Holla!